recording this for Caitlin. Miss you, girl. Hope you guys are safe. All right, so what I want you to do here is we're going to do everything that we did on this last line. So go ahead and just like put like these little quotation marks. That means like the same as above. Okay? Are y'all with me? Or you can draw an arrow down if you want. All right. So we're going to add and subtract fractions with and let's put unlike up here. Like, unlike, like denominators. And I'm going to add and whole numbers. Okay? So whatever page you are on, we'll put that over here. All right? So again, you're going to keep all of this right here. I added unlike. Are you with me? Because for whatever reason, I didn't write liking and unlike. Okay? So add that right above it. And then we're adding in whole numbers today. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and flip. Hang on one second. And this will be, let me see what page I was on. All right. Yep. Make sure. So like I'm just going to add my page number, which is 47. Yours might be something different.
Did you tear that out?
I did because I had to start a new journal. Mine was full. I don't know why. Well, I haven't been. I'm going to rewrite it up here. All right. So we're going to add and subtract fractions. Like, unlike, denominators, and whole numbers. All right, so that's a lot. That's a lot. Remember to shorten things where you can, as long as you remember what you did. Okay. So, and mark this for 5B because I forgot to show them something. Okay. All right, everybody good?
No.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Hang on one second. Ask me when I'm not doing this, okay?
Yeah, later.
Yeah, just ask me and I'll ask you later.
Okay.
Subtract fractions with borrowing.
So, like, what did I miss? Like, did we do any math
I sent you
yesterday?
everything. I sent you everything.
Did we do anything with math yesterday, or did we just
Nope.
not get to it?
I sent you everything.
All right.
You're good to go.
Well, except for Bible, but that doesn't count.
All right, everybody good? No, because you haven't learned it yet.
Well, we did. That's what we were doing before, right?
What are you talking about?
That's.
No, it's stop, please stop. Okay, let me make myself a note here. Because somebody from the other class pointed out that I missed a concept. So I need to make sure we do it. Okay, so let's start with an example, okay? When we mix in whole numbers with our fractions into mixed numbers, a lot of times it won't make a big difference, okay? But sometimes it does. So we're going to go over some of these. Let me see. So let me start with my first example and we'll just get into what we're talking about. So I've got 2 7/8. And let's add that to 1. Poor Caitlin, I've been recording this whole time. Okay. All right. To 1 2/8. All right. So, of course, just like we did before when we're adding or subtracting those fractions, guys, the first thing that we want to notice is the denominators. Which one? That's a 1. That's a 7. All right. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check here with my denominators because that changes everything. Yes, Gucci?
Something funny yesterday.
Yeah?
When I was at Oak Ridge, they actually taught me how to do this.
Awesome. We're right on track. Perfect. I love to hear that.
I also know how to do this.
Good. So, because I have same denominators, life is pretty good. Yes, Elise?
I think we actually learned this in third grade.
I would hope so.
No, sorry.
And, hey, here we go, loves. I don't care. May I speak? Enough. All right. So, what we're going to do here, if our denominators are the same, we're just going to get right into it, okay? So, first, we're going to add the whole numbers, all right? That's number 1. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to add the whole numbers. I've got 2 plus 1 is 3, okay? And then I'm going to add or subtract my fractions. That's step 2. We're going to do that just the same way we've been doing it. We're going to add and then keep the bottom, right? So I've got 7 plus 2 is 9, and I keep the bottom, all right? All right, so that is step 2. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to adjust or reduce whatever I need to do. So I'm going to say adjust / reduce. These are your steps, okay? So when I get into that, you guys write that down.
I got a different answer.
Good.
Is that okay too?
All right. So what do we notice about this mixed number, Elise?
It's an improper.
It's an improper fraction. It's a mixed number with an improper fraction, right? So that's kind of like a double doozy. We really don't want that. Now, remember I told you that you will have teachers that are cool with the improper fractions. There are a lot of times where that's going to be accepted. And but if you have an improper fraction, which means my number on top is too big, and it's a mixed number, that's not cool. So what we need to do is adjust this fraction, okay, to make it correct. So I need to take my improper fraction and change it into a mixed number. Okay, Nathan?
4 and 1/8.
Yes. So I'm going to take that 9/8. When I divide 8 into 9, I end up with 1. It goes in one time with 1 left over, and I keep my denominator. Everybody good there? Now, one of the big problems that you're going to have is that you're going to forget about your whole number, so don't do that. But we're going to take that 1/8 and we're going to add it to 3, right? So I've got 1 and 1/8 plus 3, and that is going to give me 4 and 1/8. Now, some of you can see that right away. Some of you need to see how we're breaking that 9/8 down, so bear with me as I'm going to break it down every single time, so be patient. But now, what I need to do, I've adjusted it. See, this says adjust / reduce. So you may need to do one, you may need to do both, may need to do neither, right? It just depends. Yes, Elise?
Wait, how did you get 1/8?
Because I took my improper fraction and I divided the denominator into the numerator. Remember that 8 tells me,
How did you get a fraction?
because I have 9 pieces of cake and 8 of them make one whole cake. So when I grouped those 8 pieces together, I get one whole cake here with 1 left over.
I want to know how you got fraction out of dividing.
So here, and you guys don't have to write this. Here I went 8 into 9, right? So I said 8 goes in one time. I multiplied. Now I'm going to subtract. And my remainder is 1. If I'm dividing for fractions, my remainder becomes a fraction. Right? Yeah, does that look right? So then I end up with 1/8. Okay, everybody good there? Good question. Good question. Hey, and if it's been a minute since we've done this, so it might be one of those things where you see it, you're like, oh yeah. Just ask. Ask the good questions. Okay, so we took that 1/8 and we added it to the 3 we already had, and that gives us 4 1/8. Again, we adjusted the fraction as necessary. Do we need to reduce it? Yes or no, why or why not? So again, this is where I'm going to remind you that you have this little list. Oh, look. And I'm going to cram it down your throat just like I did the divisibility rules. So get used to it. Oh, look at number 1. 1 on top, question mark. Done. Am I finished with this fraction?
Yes.
Yes. Why? Because there's a 1 on top. Thank you to those of you who raised your hand. So this is my answer, girlified, and you're finished. Okay? I girlified it. Don't act crazy. Look. He's experienced girlified. Also, you have 2 sisters. You don't know what girlified means? Come on, Victor. Be real, son.
And a girl.
My input.
My input.
Well, you better say.
Please say not. Needed.
Dude, I have grandkids already waiting for you to admit the truth. Talking like it. Get out. Just kidding. Just kidding. Everybody good here? I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move down. Is everybody done? If not, speak up. All right. Now remember, when I asked that question, okay, stop. When I asked that question, I was not asking for if you were good. I was not asking you that. What I wanted to know is who is not good. So I will rephrase next time. Anybody not finished? And then nobody said anything, right? Are we good? None of you said no. Hurry up. Let's go. We will wait on you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mark another one down. For this one, I've got 1 2/4. And I'm going to add 5 2/4. Okay?
Wait, so we reduce it every time, right?
When you're done, yes. All right, let's pull on down if anybody needs that. You may be entitled to copies of my notes if you're struggling to take copies. So come see me if that is becoming a problem. Wait, I copied that wrong. Oh, it's 2 and 2. No, it's correct. Okay. All right. So again, do we all have this written down, darlings?
Yeah.
All right. So again, step 1, I'm going to go ahead and add in my whole numbers. I'm going to change colors because I can.
My answer.
All right. 1 plus 5 is 6. Thank you, Michael. And step 2, what do I do next?
Add the top.
Victor?
Add the top and the top.
Add the fractions. What I forgot to say is we're going to look at those denominators to make sure they're the same, right? If they're not the same, that's a whole other lesson that we'll get to. All right, so I keep my denominator. I'm going to add the tops, like he said. I've got 2 plus 2 is 4. Now, step 3 is adjust or reduce. What does 8 over 8 equal? Victor?
1 whole.
1. What does 12 over 12 equal? Jacob?
1.
Okay, so what does 4 over 4 equal?
1.
1, right? So what I have here is 6 plus 1, right? That 4/4 shows me that I have, that every cake has 4 pieces in it, and I have 4 pieces. So I have 1 whole cake. And why do I always make it cake? I don't know. Don't judge me. All right, because cake is awesome, especially if it's chocolate. And I'm a chunky girl. I like cake. All right, and so my answer is 7, and you're done. There's nothing to reduce. There's nothing else to adjust. Okay? So, yeah. Clarabelle.
What if we can just already do it in our head?
Then do it in your head.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
That's my point. Hey,
Hey, and what did I tell y'all before? Some of you are able to do that. Some of you are not, and I'm going to break it down every single time. Do you remember this? I mean, like I literally said it to y'all like 5 minutes ago. So be patient. I'm very happy if you can already do it. Congrats. But no man is left behind. So we're going to make sure we cover everyone. All right. So let's take a look at some subtraction problems. I need to flip the page, but you may not. Do you, boo. All right. So let me move up. Let's take a look at example 3. And let's do some subtraction. Okay, so I'm going to take 3 and 4 6 and subtract 1 and 1 6. All right. Now we're going to follow the same steps.
Can we do it on our own first?
Yeah? Y'all want to try to do it on your own real quick?
No, the actual problem.
Okay, so I'm hearing a lot of no's, so we're not going to do that, but we will stop. Who is the queen of this classroom?
You.
Thank you. So, y'all, chill out, all right? All right, so again, I'm going to add my whole numbers, right? So, actually, I'm going to subtract them. My bad. Now, did you see how I did that? This is what I'm telling you. When you guys get into solving these problems, you kind of get into that habit of, I've added, and what did I just do? I wrote a plus, so watch your signs. Okay, so I'm going to subtract my whole numbers. 3 minus 1 is 2. Yeah, we are subtracting. So, can I tell on you? Michael just added his. But what did I say? That's normal. He was in the habit of adding. Is Michael good at math? Of course he is. So, you know what I'm saying, y'all? Listen, you have to slow down and really look at the signs, because I promise you, even in 11th, 12th grade, you're going to be doing the same thing. Okay? So it's going to happen. All right. So perfect. All right. So we subtracted our whole numbers. Number 2, we're going to subtract our fraction. 4 minus 1 is 3. And I keep my denominator. And then, again, we're just going to write it on this page. We're going to adjust or reduce. I'm going to shorten those up. Can I reduce this fraction? Okay. Dawson? Put your hand up. Okay. How can I reduce it? What do I do? So, let's focus on what I'm going to kind of just draw. I just need to reduce the 3 6.
Oh, so 3.
I'm going to keep my whole numbers because I got my cakes over here. Don't touch them. They're for later, right? Don't you hate it when your mama tells you that?
Yeah.
No, you can't have any of these cakes over here. These 2 cakes are for later. You're going to get hit with that wood spoon.
If the cakes are for later, I just take.
Hush. My mama would have smacked me with that wood spoon. That's what, I have a pin. It said wooden spoon survivor. She would smack my hand. Okay. So we're just reducing the 3 6. So this is where we would take the 3 and 6 and find the greatest common factor. But first, we always ask the question, which is what, Elise? Will the top go into the bottom? Yes, it will. That makes the top the GCF. So I'm going to divide by 3. Oh, I made a mess out of that. All right, so we're cooking with oil here. So, thank you, darling. Okay, yeah, like cooking with oil. Have you ever put an egg in a pan with no oil in it? It's a disaster. Okay, so here we go. Now listen, this is going to be another common way that you make a mistake. So listen to me. Say yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Take that 2 before you do anything else and move your whole number over. If you have an answer that does not include that 2, but I can see all your work up ahead, I don't care. It is a X. Okay, so you have to move the whole number over. You will do it. You will forget. Okay, that's why we're going to teach you right now. Move it over. Move it over. We're going to make a big old deal out of it. Okay, now you're ready to divide your fraction. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Thank you. And 6 divided by 3 is 2. And now we're done.
Or what you could do, 3 times, you already know 3 times 2 equals 6. That means if it's 2, if the numerator goes into the bottom by times 2, it's automatically going to be a half.
All right, you heard it here. Because it's the GCF. The top, we say if we're reducing, we're going to say, will the top go into the bottom? So if 3 will go into 6, it also goes into itself. That's the biggest factor you're going to have. So we always ask that because it makes everything easy. So if the top will go into the bottom, we're going to divide the top and the bottom by that top number. Okay? Then we end up with the 1 on top, which we know means it is reduced, right? Okay? So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Let's do another one that is a little bit different. Okay. All right, example 4. I've got 7 minus 3 and 2/5. All right, go ahead and write that one down.
Hello. Miss Ben.
Michael's crazy today. What happened to Michael, y'all? What am I going to do with him?
I'm just tired.
You're tired?
Everyone's tired. I'm tired.
Linda's, listen. Y'all aren't even old yet. You can't be tired yet, okay? No. I forbid it. Now, are we good?
No.
Now,
Yeah, I'm still working.
take a look at... Shut it. We're going to take a whole number and we're going to subtract a mixed number. What we need to do when this happens is, first of all, we're going to just stop. Because normally we would say number 1, subtract the whole numbers. Please don't do that. What I need to do is change my problem. So I'm going to go straight to the step 3 and I'm going to adjust. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fix this because I can't subtract a fraction from nothing. So I am going to subtract 1 from 7 and make 7 a mixed number. Are you ready? So imagine I have 7 cakes. There's 7 whole cakes, right? I'm going to keep 6 of those cakes, right? I'm going to take 7 and I'm going to subtract 1 of the cakes. And I'm going to keep that 6th cake. I've got 6 whole cakes now, right? And they're put off to the side. Don't touch them. They're for later. I've got the 1 cake in front of me. Now what I need to do with that last cake is I need to name it as a fraction. So earlier I said, what was 10 over 10? And you said it equals 1. What is 5 over 5? You said it equals 1. So what can I do to take this one little lonely cake? How do I name it as a fraction? Jacob?
You cut it into 6.
No. Good try though. I have 6 holes. That's where you're getting your 6 from. Clarabelle?
You make it 5 then.
5. Where'd you get that 5 from?
Because the bottom number.
The bottom number has a denominator. So this tells me right here that every cake has how many pieces? 5. So if I had 7 whole cakes and I put 6 of them to the side, I have that last cake. It is cut into 5 pieces. That means I have 5 out of 5 pieces. So we just renamed a whole number into a mixed number. Are you with me? Give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up, in the middle, thumbs down. Let's go. Waiting. Okay. In the middle is okay. We'll take it. All right. So now let's go ahead and move over the 3 and 2/5. And now we're cooking with oil again. So let's go ahead and just walk through step 1. We're going to subtract our whole number. 6 take away 3 is 3. Step 2, we're going to subtract our fractions. Subtract the top, keep the bottom. 5 minus 2 is 3. My denominator is 5. And then step 3 says adjust or reduce. Do we need to do anything to this fraction?
No.
Elise? Nope. All right. So here, let's just put a note over here, okay? We're going to do a whole number to a mixed number, okay? Just put a note here just in case you need to come back and look at those notes, all right? Whole number to a mixed number. We're just going to adjust. Can we jump down to step 3? Of course we can. We love it. We love jumping. We love jumping. Now, what I want to do real quick is I want to look at
But you didn't verify the answer. Bro.
Let's do a picture frame. All right, it's girlified. Oh, it's so beautiful. We love our map. You would never have done it. You would never have done it, sir. It's girlified. Ugh. I love it when you argue with me. Okay, so.
No.
Okay. Let me. I almost forgot this. Now, the state of Texas says that you need to be able to estimate fractions. I want to touch on that real quick, okay? And where is that pen I just put in there that I needed to throw away? Oh, here it is. All right, so I want to just talk real quickly about estimating fractions. You'll get into this more in the 6th grade, but we're going to just start it now, okay? And let me give you example 5. So if I give you a problem, let's do one addition problem. I've got 6 and 1/8, and I'm going to add 2 and 5/8. You bet. Thank you. All right, let me adjust that, guys. Thank you. All right, so write that problem down. And over here, remember how we used to do this old estimate thing with our decimals? It's back. All right. Hey, Lorelai, will you take this to the fridge? Put it in the back. Don't drop it. It's precious. Okay? If it breaks, I might cry and maybe die. All right. So
my mom cannot be happy without coffee.
well, your mom is a wise woman. Now, are we ready? All right, dumplings. So here's what we're going to do with this whole estimating fractions thing. Are you ready? Now, what we do when we estimate is it's like rounding, right? So over here on this, it's 6 and 1/8. Either this is going to be a 6 or we're going to round it up to a 7. Are you with me? 6 and 1/8 is going to be a 6 or a 7. Remember when we were rounding, we would say 5 or more, let it soar. So I want you to think of that 5. It's out of 10, right? Out of 9. So I want you to think of 5 as half. Does that sound right? It's like halfway through. So over here, I'm just going to put a few notes. So I have the fraction 1/8. Now, if I have fractions that are to the 8th, right? What would half of that be? This is a cake with 8 pieces in it. So half of the cake would be what, Stone? 4 pieces. So over here, I'm just going to put what that cake, half of the cake would be like. Are you with me? I'm going to take the fraction that I have and I'm going to compare it to what half of it would be. Give me a thumbs up if you're with me. So if I have 6 and 1/8, I'm looking at that 8. That 8 decides, am I staying at 6 or becoming a 7? So I'm going to compare the 1/8 to what half would be. Is it less than half or greater than half? Lorelai. Yes, you may interrupt this lesson to fill up your water bottle. Go. Anybody else? Is 1/8 less than or greater than what half would be? Gucci.
What half would be?
Yeah, so half would be 4/8. Is this great? It's not greater. I'm ignoring you because you're wrong. Get out. I love you. Oh, let's hope she's just dehydrated. All right. So, where are we at here? Is 1/8 less than or greater than 4/8, y'all?
Oh my god.
I can't hear you. Somebody. Less. God bless America. So, if 1/8 is less than what half would be, guess what? We're going to stay the same. So this becomes 6. Everybody with me? Capiche?
Capiche.
We're going to do the same thing with the next number. Are you going to be able to look at this and do it in your head? Probably all of you will. Yes, okay? But we are still going to drag it out, so just get over it. All right, so over here I have 5/8. And I'm going to compare that also to half. Now I can tell already 5 is bigger than 4. 5 slices is better than 4 slices of cake. Am I right?
Yep.
Give me a high five. All right. So that is greater than. So guess what? My number is going to go up. It's like that 5 or more, let it soar, right? If it's bigger than half or equal to half, guess what? This 2 5/8, I'm going to estimate that to 3. And then just add up what you think your estimate is.
Boom.
Okay, give me a thumbs up if you're with me.
Boom.
Everybody good? In the middle? Or are you up? Okay. Victor, you good? Yes. Lorelai, waiting on you. This is not like, if you feel like it, I'm waiting for your thumbs. I'm going to call you out if you don't. Come on, let's go. What's wrong with y'all today?
I'm tired.
I'm tired. Get on my nerves. All right, but we're not done. Let's go ahead and do this fraction. Go ahead and do this one on your own. Okay, we've been practicing them. Show me what you got. Okay, if you're at home, I'm going to pause you, and then you hit play when you're ready to check your answer. Let's check your answers real quick. Step 1, I'm going to add my whole numbers. Step 2, I'm going to add my fractions. Denominators are the same, so 1 plus 5 is 6. Keep my 8. Now, step 3 says adjust or reduce. So, when I look at 6/8, I have to decide, can it be reduced? And the first thing that I notice about this fraction is what? Elise? Both numbers are even, so yes, I can reduce them. So that's why you guys might be over here going like 6/8, finding that GCF. Everybody's at their own level, okay? But that's what you'll do if you're not sure. But the GCF for 6 and 8 is going to be 2. All right? So I'm going to divide both numbers by 2.
And how do you get that?
That would have been over here like you do 2 and 3. This will be 8 times 4. It'll be 8 times, or it'll be 2 times 2 times 2, right? You'll do your prime factors like I'm doing right here. And then you will track which ones they share. And they only share a 2. So that's your GCF. Okay? But before I go ahead and reduce, what do I do? Because some of y'all are dividing right now. Shame on you. Somebody other than my daughter answer me, please. Stone?
3 out of 4.
Oh, my Lanta.
8. 3 out of 4.
Move the 8. Thank you, Victor. Move that 8 over. Yes, you can slow clap him 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Done. Nathan, you can't count to 3? I'm sending this video to your mom. All right. Now we'll go ahead and reduce. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Are we finished?
Yes.
Why? How do you know?
It's been reduced.
It has been reduced, but there's a chance you didn't get the GCF, especially with bigger numbers. Clarabelle? They're consecutive numbers. 3 and 4 are right next to each other on the number line. So, let me get Disqualified. All right, everybody good. How are we feeling about this? Okay, perfect. Let's do another estimating with subtraction. And I would like for you guys to try on that. We can get it set up. There's not a lot of this in your practice. So we may do some more later just to check you in Math Wars. Okay. What number are we on? Okay, example 6. Let me move up here. Okay, dumplings. So, let's take 6 9/10, and we're going to subtract that from 2 3/10. All right. We're going to estimate. So over here, I'm going to be taking 9/10, and I've got 3/10. These are my fractions, right? And I'm going to compare them to what a half would be. What would, you know what, I'm going to hold on for a second, let you guys write, and then we'll talk. Says compare to half. This number is kind of hard to read a little bit, huh?
Minus? Oh.
It's not the color. It's just so far away.
Okay. Nathan, yeah, first tell me though, what would half? What am I comparing 9/10 to? What would half be? 5/10, good. So I'm going to compare both of these to 5/10, 5 over 10, 5 over 10. Yep. Everybody okay? Yeah, wasn't talking to you. Okay, so over here, I'm deciding, I'm going to estimate, is this 6 9/10 closer to 6 or 7? Is 2 3/10 closer to 2 or 3, right? All right, so let's take a look at these fractions. 9/10 is less than or greater than 5/10. Jacob? It's definitely greater than. And if it's greater than, then I'm going up. So 6 9/10 I will estimate as 7. Is everybody good there?
Yep.
All right. 3/10. Michael, less than or greater than 5/10?
Less than.
Less than. So what am I going to do?
Eat it.
Eat it.
Stay the same. Yes. Now, what if it was equal? What if this fraction was 5/10? What would I do with it? Would I go up or stay the same?
Stay the same.
Stay. You'd go up. There you go. You would go up. Remember, 5 or more, let it soar. And we're thinking of 5 as our halfway mark. Oh, so, but for this one, 2 3/10, we're going to estimate as 3. Now just subtract. All right, and we are ready now to solve this fraction. Why don't you guys do that real quick? Make sure, you're fine. Make sure that you follow step 3, adjust or reduce. All right. If you're at home, go ahead and pause and hit play when you're ready to check your answer. Why did it go up? Because I have lost my mind. Yeah, so what I said was that it stays the same, but then I put a 3 there. Thank you, Clarabelle. So this will be a 2. My bad. Thank you. So, and 7 minus 2, I'm starting to write 6. 7 minus 2 is 5. Okay. That's all right. I'm going to blur all that out when I post these notes. Okay. All right. So, go ahead and solve this for yourself, and we will check your answer when we come back. Okay, so let's check this real quick, and I'll just run through. When I subtract my whole numbers, I get 4. when I subtract my fraction, I get 6/10. I look at 6/10 and both numbers are even. So again, I might be over here, finding my prime factors. Let me move this over. All right. Or I will just tell you for the sake of time that the GCF is 2. So I'm going to divide my fraction by 2. But first, what do, Victor?
Find the answer.
My. Gucci, what do?
Oh, put the 4.
Bring that 4 over, y'all. Bring the 4 over. Now, I'm going to divide and reduce my fraction to 3/5. Now, both of these numbers are prime, so I am finished. I'm so happy about it. I think I'm just going to draw myself a little flower. Okay.
Oh, I got 5, 3.
Yeah, you might have just wrote them on the wrong lines rather.
Oh,
Are we good here?
Gucci.
So we have estimated. Everybody comfortable-ish with that?
Yeah.
Deciding what it's saying? Oh, you're comfortable? Some of y'all comfortable enough to correct me, and I'm okay with that. All right, so the last thing I want to show you on this is borrowing, okay? You have done it with regular numbers, but not with fractions and whole numbers. So let me pull up a problem real quick. All right, this is going to be example 7. And this is what Abdelisa actually came to me and said, hey, we didn't go over this. And I was like, thank you, we did not. So we will do it now. So let's do 7 and 2 12ths. And we're going to subtract, when I write, you write. And I'm going to subtract 3 and 8 12ths. Let me move this. Everybody okay? So as you're writing this down, listen. When we walk through those steps, number 1, whole numbers, number 2, fractions, you're going to subtract your whole numbers, and then what do we notice about subtracting the fractions? Can I take 2 and subtract 8? No. It's like what we did you guys say big bottom borrow back in the 2nd grade? Anybody?
No.
Big bottom borrow? Okay. I don't know. Some people use that. They like it. I think they just like saying big bottom, but that's okay. So, let's be real. So what we have to do, guys, is we have to borrow. And the only way I can change the fraction here on 7 12ths is to borrow from my whole number. So it's kind of like we did before where we adjusted and we made the whole number into a mixed number. But now I'm going to borrow from my whole number, right? I'm going to subtract 1 from 7. Okay? Are you with me? And that, go ahead and put a plus sign here. So 7, if I take away 1 cake, I end up with 6 cakes. So let's rename that whole thing. Now I'm going to make 7. I'm going to name 7 as 6 and what? I'm renaming that 1 as a fraction. I'm going to wait for some more hands. So 7 becomes, I'm just going to draw a whole arrow right here. 7 becomes 6 and what, Lorelai?
7 together?
No, so I take away 1 whole cake. So I've got 6 cakes over here. Don't touch them, they're for later. I need to name my 7th cake as a fraction. Jacob.
2 1 and 3 12ths.
Not quite, because I've got a whole cake. And guess how many slices it has?
12.
It has 12 slices. It has all 12 out of 12 slices. So I could take 6 and 12 12ths, and that really gives me 7 cakes, right? I've just chosen to rename it. But now what I need to do, guys, is I need to take that 2 12ths, and I'm going to add it in. Okay? Are you with me? And yes, for those of you who are all about doing it in your head, you will be doing this in no time. No time. So for here, now, again, before I add anything, what am I going to do? Y'all all put your hand. Oh, my Lanta. What am I going to do before I do anything with these fractions? Stone, what am I going to do?
Put the number.
Move that 6 over. Move it. Move it or lose it. Man, one day I'm telling you, you're going to, everybody around you.
That's a telly.
What'd I say?
The D word. She
What?
said day.
I said one day. One day.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Oh, Michael. One day, y'all going to be looking around you saying, I sure am glad Miss Van was my teacher. You may not be ready to admit it, but it will happen. Go ahead and add your fractions together at the top and keep the bottom. Now, what? You say, Mom?
No.
Okay, good.
Oh.
Boom. What is it? Don't ask me anything else while I'm teaching. I'm about done. Go ahead and move your 3 and 8/12ths over. And now you are cooking with oil. Let's go ahead and do some maths.
Cooking with oil.
Cooking with oil.
Like on a pan.
That's right. 6 minus 3 is 3. Now go ahead and subtract your fractions. 14 minus 8 is what? 6. And we keep our denominator. Okay, step 3. Adjust or reduce. Clarabelle.
3 and 1/2.
All right, so the question is, can I reduce 6/12ths? One of the tips that I gave you guys was, number 1, will the top go into the bottom? But also look for halves, right? So yes, the top will go into the bottom, which makes that top number 6 my GCF. We're going to divide both by 6, but first, what am I going to do, Dawson?
Bring over the 3.
Bring that 3 over, or else. So that equals 3 and 1/2. Divide your 6, divide 12 by 6. And you're ready to go. Let's make this one like a crazy face. I don't know. What do you think?
What is that?
It's it's a fraction man. You never had fraction man as a kid? Neither did I. I just made it up. But still,
We had gallon man.
gallon guy, listen. Okay, how are we doing here? I want to do one more borrow problem, and I want you to solve it for me. No, give me an extra problem. Subtractions with borrowing. Subtraction with borrowing. Oh, okay. Let's do one more on this. Well, you've got plenty of space, friend. Do what you got to do. All right, let's do example 8. I found me a problem. Wait, did I? Yeah, I did. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. Okay. 5 and 2/5. Subtracting 3 and 1/5. No, that's borrowing.
Yeah,
Ugh, get on my nerves.
you could just do 3 and 3/5.
Shh.
Can you please move
Clara,
these
I do not want all your common sense up in here. Do you understand me? Yes, I will move it.
Thank you.
Minus 3 and 3/5. Thank you. Okay. All right, so go ahead, and what I want you to do is rename this. See how far you get, okay? I'm going to put a little reminder here for you that I'm going to subtract 1, okay? So looking at the example above you, tell me what that looks like, and if you're at home, go ahead and hit pause and then play when you're ready. Okay, so let's do a check-a-rooney. Again, over here, you had 5 cakes. I'm just going to go ahead and draw those. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, but I told you to take one away, right? So 5 minus 1 gave me 4 cakes. Here's my 5th cake over here. All right, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces, and they're all in there, right? So I need to rename this 5th cake as a fraction. So if it's a cake with 5 slices and all 5 slices are there, what is the fraction for this visual going to be? Jacob. 5 out of 5. Good. So you've renamed it. Boom. Now bring that 3 over. So I'm still going to subtract 3 and 3/5. Okay. And then from there, just step 1, 2, 3. Subtract your whole numbers. Subtract your fractions. Listen, again, Clara, with your smarts. I just can't.
Oh, yo.
Okay, you don't have to write that. All right, so the student surpasses the teacher. Yes. Thank you, Clara. Clara is a genius. All right, here, are you ready? Some of y'all probably caught it too. We still need to take that 2/5 and account for it. So take that and add it in. But first, you're going to, Elise?
Add the whole number.
Move that whole number right on over. So I've got 4 and let's just add them together, right? 5 plus 2 is 7. And keep your 5. Now, may I subtract? Clarabelle, thank you. Great job. Great job, Clara. All right, so now we're ready to subtract whole numbers and our fraction. And I know that we are done because our numbers are consecutive. Yep. 4, 5, right next to each other in the number line. How are we feeling about this? Don't pull a Miss Span and forget to add in those numbers, okay? I think that's going to be another common mistake that we see, okay? All right. What I want you to do is this. Take out your math workbook. Math workbook. And if somebody can bring Caitlin's to me, I would appreciate it.
Oh, good.
Okay. Looks like Elisa's already there.
Why does it take that much?
Huh?
Why does it take that much?
What does it take what much?
I had to use all the sides for the bottom.
Whoops, sorry. We forgot about you. And here is the problem. If you have any questions, come see me. Right now we are tearing out our homework.
Which is
All right.
Which is already in classroom, right?
Put, it might be, yes.
Yeah, you put it in there yesterday.
Perfect. All right, go ahead and put your name at the top. And let's write on top of it, due to 27. Now, it is in Google Classroom, but it says don't do yet because I didn't assign it to you guys yesterday because 3 of you were out. So go ahead and write due 227 at the top.
3 of us? Oh, yeah, because Caitlin.
Shh, stop, please. All right, second page, put your name on it. I keep hearing somebody say I've already done it. Well, good. You better make 100.
Mike.
Yep. All right. Go ahead and write due 227 on both and cut down the chit chat. Please and thank you. All right, dumplings. Are you ready? Because if y'all continue to talk, I'm going to tell you good luck. And you're going to do it all. Or you can act right and we can walk through and shorten this. Up to you. No skin off my back. Okay, ready? All right. So let's take a look on page 167. Right here, it says color the fraction pieces to show the addition. If you want to do that, that's fine, but I'm going to mark through it. Okay, I don't really care if you color them. If you want to, though, you can. Great. Not required by me. And actually, I don't even know why I'm having you do that because we're going to skip skip 1 through 4. We're going to skip 5 and 6 and 7 and 8.
Wait, this is the right one, right?
Page 167. Yes, ma'am. 160. Nope, you're on the wrong page. Page 167. Okay. All right, everybody should be on 167, adding like fractions. Do not yell out at me again. Raise your hand if you have a question, or you will step outside and start your work. Okay? I don't like it. It's rude. All right, so you're going to do number 9, number 10, 11, and 12. Go ahead and mark out 13, 14, 15. I'm calling them out to you, though. 16, 17, 18. So again, mark out 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yep.
If we doodle some of the ones that you mark out, will you count them as bonuses?
Maybe. I mean, I'm not going to guarantee that I'll count them as bonuses. I will grade them for you. But I don't know if, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I mean, it won't turn into bonuses. What it would do is change how many problems you have. So, like, instead of doing, like, 13 problems on this, it would be 30. So, every time you lose one, it costs you less. Okay? All right, everybody good. So, page 67, you should only have 4 problems not marked out. Capiche? All right. So, say thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, darling.
Also, thank you yesterday.
Amen.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. All right, on the back, page 170. I'm sorry, page 168. I don't know where I got 170. That noise in the background is Jacob Edwards. Okay. That's what it is. All right, here we go. 168. All right, 19, 20, and 21. Let's get rid of 22.
Wait,
Mark out 22. Mark out 28, 29, 30. Let me move this up. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. All right. So on this page, you marked through, are you ready? 22, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, and 35.
Wait, it's not.
I just called through them, honey. No, it's not. You're on the wrong page. We are doing the adding. Now listen, honey, right here. Listen to me. When I say, okay, I'm on page 168, I'm on the back. You got to pay attention. Just hold on to that for a second. All right, everybody else good? Okay, dumplings. Now we're going to move on to the next page. Ready? At the top, it says subtracting like fractions. All right. Let's get our pencils ready and mark out number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. Okay?
Number 1, number 2,
All right. So, design. Okay. Now, on 10 through 14, I want you to write, stop please, choose 3. All right. Michael, you didn't write it down, son. And you're going to do extra problems, and your parents are going to tell me you were up all night trying to do the problems because you didn't mark out what you're not supposed to do. All right, everybody. So on page 169, we marked out 1 through 5. Then at the bottom, for 10 through 14, we wrote choose 3. Everybody good? All right, flip over to page 170. Who just yelled out at me? Okay, make it stop. I mean, I'm going pretty slow, and I'm repeating everything, and if y'all have questions, I'll answer them, but let's get through this. All right, so where are we? 15 through 17, 18 through 21. All right, so go down to 18 through 21 here, and next to that section, we're going to write choose 3. Okay? Now, for all of these problems, 22 through 33, you can mark them out. However, if you want to do this for extra practice, these will not count against you. But if you have time, I would do some. Okay? So I'm going to write here 22 through 33. I'm going to write this up because it's Caitlin's and she might do it. Are optional. So all of these, this whole section, okay? This whole section is optional. Now, if you guys come back and you still can't do this, I'm probably going to give you another worksheet or some more practice problems.
Is this reasonable?
But for now, that's fine. Yeah.
Reasonable? Okay.
And then you're going to do 34 and 35. All right. Any questions about the assignment? Clarabelle.
Do 8 and 9.
On what page? 169? Yes. If I didn't tell you to cross them out, you do them. Yeah, I'll check them. Anybody else have a question? Okay. Hey, stop real quick. Stop real quick. And, yeah, I'll check them for you. Hang on one second. Go back to 167. Let's go. All right. So, on 9 and 10, you're just going to solve. All right. Go ahead and just circle that with me. And y'all need to pay attention to this because we have done examples and gone over instructions that y'all haven't done, and it's cost you a lot of time at home. Okay? Not my problem. I love you, but not my problem. So here at the bottom, I want you to circle. Number 1, you're going to add, and then number 2, you're going to write those answers in lowest terms. Guys, that means reduce. Okay? Gucci, why are you putting this up and not marking it? I better not hear nothing from your parents saying, he was up all night doing all these problems. Boy, I don't want to hear nothing from none of y'all. Here we go. Are you ready? Flip it over and let's just take a look here. Now remember, on the estimation, some of these problems should look familiar. Okay, you're going to compare to 1/2. What would 1/2 of an eighth be? 4/8. So let's just write that over here. Okay, and then here I'm going to write, this is going to be 6 or 7, right? This is going to be 2 or 3. Y'all good? Okay. Over here on number 21, let's look at that one real quick because it's 7. And what would 1/2 of 7 be? Elise?
3.5.
Like 3.5. So here I might put like 3.5 over 7. Does that make sense? Like as my half? So like 3.5. Really what you're looking at there is like 3 or 4. So you'll kind of have to kind of go from there. So for instance, the 6, I mean like neither of these are going to be affected. Either the 1's bigger or smaller, the 6 is bigger or smaller. Okay? Are y'all with me there? So don't forget to estimate and then watch your signs. Well, you know what? That's okay because they're all adding or subtracting. Now, here we go. This color the parts to show the add-ins. I'm going to put a gentle line through that. I do not care if you color those, but if it helps you, do it.
What page is this?
We're on page 168. But next to it, number 1, I'm going to solve. Number 2, I'm going to write the answer in lowest terms. Some of you are going to get these problems wrong because you don't reduce them. So we're going to go through and we're going to mark them to show that I reminded you and reminded you and reminded you. Okay? Same thing down here. We're going to add and write the answer in lowest terms.
I should have done this yesterday.
If you need to take these and put them on scratch paper, do it. Okay? We're not done. But make sure it's tidy. All your answers will go where?
On the paper.
On this paper. And if they don't, I'm not looking for them. They will be wrong. Make sure that your work is on that other paper and numbered and tidy where I can find it, or else I'll just say, hey, you didn't show your work.
What if you
It'll
did,
be wrong.
What if you did it in your head?
Like,
For example, like 9, 10, 11.
Well, if I have a question, then I will ask you about it. All right, so
Like on
on page,
on 167, 19, 11, is it okay if I did it in my head?
I'm not going to look at that right now, but if I have any questions, I'll ask you. All right, page 169. Again, here for 6 and 7, you're going to subtract. Step 2, write your answer in lowest terms. Okay? Subtract, write your answer in lowest terms. You need to have those tips and tricks out, and you need to be checking them. Okay? 8 and 9. Is everybody good with me? Use the fraction pieces. Again, I'm not worried about that. I'm not looking for your visuals. Use them if they help you. But down below, I want you to solve. And step 2, write the answer in lowest terms. When I get your papers, I'm expecting to see all this stuff underlined. Okay? All right. Like I'm not talking to myself here. All right. Same thing down below for 10 through 14. Number 1, we're going to subtract. Then we're going to write our answers in lowest terms. Mark it.
Did you screw that up?
You bet. Wait, scoot it up?
Yes.
How's that? All right. Y'all ready to flippity floppity? Page 170. These all pretty much say the same thing, right? Up at the top, estimate the difference. Step 1, solve. Step 2, write the answers in lowest terms. Step 3. Okay, 18 through 21. Number 1, subtract. Number 2, write the answers in lowest terms. Again, they all say the same thing, but we're going to remind ourselves.
Yay.
And then on 34 and 35, it just says answer the question. Okay? Any questions about your assignment? It's not that much. If you do scratch paper, make it tidy. Put your name on it and make sure that you staple it before you turn it in. Okay? All of your science vocabulary is due or past due. Matter of fact, the only person in here that doesn't have to have it turned in is Caitlin. Okay? So everybody should have all 3 parts of their vocab turned in by yesterday, really. Unless you were absent yesterday, you could turn it in today. And this math will be due tomorrow. Okay?
Can I have a stapler?
Any other questions? Y'all good? All right. So, put that away and pack it up. It's time to switch. I'll let you do. Good job.